The tragic sinking of the Titanic on 15 April 1912 serves as a haunting reminder of how human errors and miscalculations can lead to catastrophic consequences, even for the most advanced engineering marvel of its time. Often referred to as the unsinkable ship, the Titanic was celebrated for its size, luxury, and state-of-the-art technology, which led to a dangerous overconfidence among its builders, crew, and passengers. This overconfidence constituted the first critical mistake. Believing that the ship's design and features made it impervious to disaster, Captain Edward Smith and his crew neglected to implement rigorous safety protocols. This hubris created a false sense of security that permeated the ship, causing them to underestimate the potential dangers of the icy North Atlantic waters they were traversing. The second mistake was the failure to heed iceberg warnings. In the days leading up to the fateful night, several ships in the vicinity sent multiple messages alerting the Titanic of icebergs in their path. However, these warnings were either ignored or dismissed by the crew, who were determined to maintain their speed in order to stay on schedule. First Officer William Murdoch received these critical warnings but chose to keep the ship at full speed, confident that they could navigate through any potential obstacles. This decision proved disastrous when the Titanic struck an iceberg, a moment that could have been avoided had the crew prioritized safety over speed. Furthermore, the Titanic's lifeboat situation highlighted a third major mistake: the inadequate number of lifeboats. Designed to accommodate only BS lifeboats, which could carry around half of the ship's passengers, the Titanic's lifeboat capacity was woefully insufficient, a fact that was in direct violation of maritime regulations at the time that were based on a ship's tonnage rather than its passenger capacity. This miscalculation was influenced by the widespread belief that the ship was unsinkable, leading the builders to underestimate the necessity for adequate lifeboat provisions. When the ship began to sink, many lifeboats were launched only partially filled, as the passengers were still reluctant to believe that the Titanic was in real danger. Had the ship been equipped with enough lifeboats to accommodate all passengers and crew, countless lives could have been saved. The fourth critical mistake was the lack of proper emergency preparedness. Despite the opulence of the Titanic, the crew had not conducted adequate lifeboat drills or provided the passengers with clear instructions on evacuation procedures. When the order to abandon ship was given, confusion reigned. Many passengers, stunned by the realization of their dire situation, hesitated to leave the comforts of the ship. The crew's lack of training in handling such emergencies compounded the chaos, as they struggled to maintain order amid the panic. This lack of preparation not only affected the crew's response but also the passengers' ability to react decisively, further exacerbating the tragedy. In addition to these human errors, the Titanic was also plagued by design flaws that contributed to its sinking. The watertight compartments, which were supposed to keep the ship afloat even if several were compromised, had a significant flaw. The bulkheads did not extend high enough. When the iceberg tore into the ship's hull, water rushed into the first compartment and quickly overflowed into adjacent compartments. This critical design oversight meant that even a ship with multiple watertight sections was doomed once enough compartments flooded, which ultimately led to the Titanic's rapid descent into the frigid waters. Lastly, a combination of miscommunication and lack of leadership severely hampered the crew's response to the crisis. After the collision, Captain Smith reportedly hesitated to abandon the ship, struggling with the reality of the situation. There was a breakdown in communication regarding the severity of the damage and the urgency of the evacuation. Passengers were left unaware of the imminent danger, and many hesitated to board the lifeboats, thinking the situation was under control. Without clear, decisive leadership, chaos ensued, and many lives were lost that could have been saved had there been effective communication and a unified response to the emergency. In summary, the sinking of the Titanic is a tragic lesson in the dangers of overconfidence, the importance of heeding warnings, and the critical need for proper safety measures. The 6 major mistakes: over-reliance on technology, ignoring iceberg warnings, inadequate lifeboat provisions, poor emergency preparedness, design flaws, and miscommunication, collectively contributed to the loss of over 1,500 lives. The Titanic's legacy serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of humility in the face of nature, the need for vigilance in safety practices, and the significance of effective communication and leadership in times of crisis. As we reflect on this tragedy, we are urged to prioritize safety and preparedness in all our endeavors, ensuring that the lessons learned from the Titanic are never forgotten.